Good evening to you, Matthew Campbell. Thank you very much for that update. We're 11 minutes away here from the first event at Cranbourne. 9 races on the card, heavy 10 conditions. And Warren, this first race looks pretty open.
And no surprise to see Matty Campbell install Vegas Strip as the favourite.
Yeah, there it is, $2.70 on course here with the bookmakers. Queen of Heights at $3.60. But we'll start with Argyle Bell. She's only had the one career start, trained by Doug Harrison. Patrick Keane rides. And what did you make of that debut performance?
Just held her ground, didn't she, in that race? 1,100 metres, and out of that shoot round the one bend at Bendigo, it can be a bit of a really on-speed dominated type of race. I suppose you'd say she was run off her legs to some extent. The little step up in distance here to the 1,200 metres should suit, and she'd probably be better with the benefit of that experience. We don't know her on seriously rain-affected ground, and she'll probably get crossed by a few from that inside draw.
Lizzie Jelfs is our mounting yard expert this evening. How does the one look?
Yeah, looks well. She parades nicely. She just a little bit on her toe earlier on, just at certain stages in the parade. She gets a little bit jig-joggy, but she just looks a little bit new to the game. And obviously, how she presents with her coat is great, and her appearance is very nice.
Number 2 is Katazina, trained by Robbie Lang here at Cranbourne. A 2-year-old filly by Shocking, the Melbourne Cup winner. So on breeding, you'd suggest that she's going to improve with a little bit more time. Is there anything that we know from her jump outs? Have we seen her at this stage, Warren?
I haven't, Brent. No official trials or jump outs that I've seen. Unusual for Robbie Lang, not totally out of the ordinary, but more often than not, we do see Robbie Lang's horses go to the trials, but haven't seen this horse trial or jump out. You mentioned by Shocking, you'd think that she certainly won a little bit of ground as her career unfolds, but we've seen a number of the Shockings be at least competitive at 1,200 metres.
Yeah, Electrolyte was one of them that went good last night. How does this one look, Lizzie?
Yeah, big, strong, rangy type. Has got plenty of bone and walks out nice and cleanly. Looks like a sort of type that might get a bit further.
Number 3 is Love in the City. Does have the race experience on its side, finishing behind Peking Duck here a fortnight ago. Is that performance suggest that it could run well here tonight?
Well, we get onto heavy ground here from the soft ground, and no doubt better with that run under a belt. The favourite comes through that race, and Love in the City basically shared the lead on that occasion. If there is an advantage to be somewhere near the speed on the horses that we have seen going into this race, certainly think Love in the City will be in a forward spot.
Certainly presents like a fit horse. Got a good, healthy coat on it. Walks out lovely and relaxed. They've got a beautiful demeanour on her.
Number 4 is Matron Wilson, prepared by Kieran Ma at Caulfield. Has the benefit of an inside gate here. This filly by Smart Missile.
Was a run first up at Bendigo where it did make some ground late behind Violate. I've got no doubt the little step up in distance to 1,200 metres here suits. We've only seen her once on soft ground. That was on debut and she was spelled after that, so prepared to forgive that performance at Geelong. Thought she worked home nicely, but worked home in the manner of a filly that may be looking for 1,400 metres or so perhaps next start.
Yeah, she's a lovely looking type. She's certainly got a little bit of filling out to do. How she presents tonight is a fit horse with a great coat on her, and she's quite scopy, so she's an interesting runner.
Number 5 is Miss Vigilante on debut here for Sam Pritchard-Gordon, and Dwayne Dunn takes the ride.
Trials and jump outs indicate she's probably a filly that's going to build momentum in her races and get stronger as her races get a little bit longer. Haven't seen her show much in the trials and jump outs that would indicate from that barrier draw she'd do anything other than get back in the field, but we do know race conditions are a little bit different.
Yeah, she's a nice type. She's another one who's got a great coat on her. She does look like a horse that might like to get out over a bit further, but still she presents very nicely in the yard.
Number 8 is Queen of Heights, a first starter here prepared by Chris Waller. Had a couple of barrier trials in Sydney. This filly by Keeper out of a Stark South mare, and she looks to me like she could certainly improve off what she'd done at the trials.
She was under pressure a fair way out. What she did do is rally and stick to her task, particularly in her most recent trial, but really ridden along to do so. And you wonder, 1,200 metres on debut, whether from that draw James Winks might get crossed by a few. Certainly showed enough to say she's going to get out over a bit of ground and be strong late. Wonder whether 1,200 metres is just a bit short for her on debut.
Yes, she's a short, compact, really strong filly. She's got a really strong hindquarter on her. Her coat was in great order. She just got a touch toey on the way out, but first start you can have that.
And the favourite, number 10, is Vegas Strip, prepared by Mick Price. Jake Noonan has the ride, a lovely gate, and has been well supported here on track, firming back to 260.
Yeah, I like her. I think her debut or first up performance at Maui, she did a few things wrong, but she still ran well, although safely held on that occasion. And then I think, relatively strong maiden here last start she was really strong to the line. She's a 2-year-old filly, so she's taking on some older girls here, but I do think she's got quite a bit of upside, and I like the way she's handled soft ground, and I think she can get into a spot somewhere right near the speed. I like her.
Yeah, she's a real 2-year-old type. She came into the yard and she was nicely on her toe. She looks like she's fit, she's healthy, and she looks like she'd be the one to beat.
$2.70 to $2.50 for the favourite Vegas Strip, and you were keen on her in the preview. Have you swayed at this stage?
No, and on a day where night where there's quite a few short price favourites, I think she might be the best of the night. Get the money early for number 10 Vegas Strip. I think she's paraded well and she brings some good form lines here. For me, 10 ahead of 3 Love in the City coming through the same form line. I think she'll be on the speed also. 5 Miss Vigilante will be strong to the line, and that should be 4 Matron Wilson will be strong to the line off that run at Bendigo. And 8 Queen of Heights on debut, but I think she might be looking for further. Keen on 10 ahead of 3, 4 and 8.
How did you assess them from the yard, Lizzie?
There was a lot of nice types in the yard, but I went with the one that I thought was the raciest, the real 2-year-old type. So I went with Vegas Strip. I thought she presented really nicely. I saw her here her previous start. She's made the nice natural improvement, and I think she looks great in the yard.
Vegas Strip at now just getting back out of touch to $2.60. There hasn't been really much action on course. Let's go to Matthew Campbell for see what is happening with a market update. Well, number 10 is the top selection from Lizzie and also Warren, but now we're going to learn a bit about a few of the other runners with Robbie Lang.
Well, Catazine is an interesting runner, Robbie, a shocking filly having her debut, and haven't seen her at any official trials. What can you tell us about her?
Yeah, she's had quite a few trials, the last one being last Monday week. Bounced in front, strangled her back to the tail, and then ran home over the top of him to win the trial.
On debut, over 1,200 metres. What you mentioned that you got her back off the speed in that most recent jump out. What would you like to see tonight?
I think the speed she showed on that morning, she might lob 3rd or 4th. And you think being by the staying stallion, should be strong at the finish.
From your point of view, has she done enough? And it sounds like you're quite optimistic about her chances. Do you think she's done enough to come to the races and be very competitive?
Yeah, I think she'll run really well.
Horse that you trialled at Cranbourne earlier in the week goes round in the 3rd race tonight, or 4th race tonight, Superior Rose, one of a handful of runners you've got. How's she come through that trial?
Yeah, it came through, needed it, but has improved. Real wet tracker. Yeah, it's had issues with its knees and joints and jars up, so the heavy 10 will be very helpful.
Later on in the night, also you've got Subiaso, who you got back in winning form, going around with Volunteers in the same race. Your thoughts on those two?
Yeah, Subiaso was a good win last week, albeit 0 to 64, but he was strong to the line, and Volunteers didn't have a lot of luck at Flemington the following day, beaten 3.1 and drops back in grade, so I think he's a good chance.
You've freshened up Little Indian. She goes round in the last back at 1,000 metres. What are your expectations there?
Yeah, she had a little infection on her back, and we had to sort of ease her and took her down to the aquasizer just to keep her ticking over for a week or two. Lost a little bit of fitness, so small field. She might just lob 3rd or 4th, and she runs to the line good, but yeah, it just worries me that she did miss that bit of work.
Strong team in tonight. Good luck, Robbie.
Good, thanks, Warren.
Catazina, the runner from the Robbie Lang stable, firm from 16 into 12, and did suggest that he had a little bit of confidence that she could run well after a decent jump out here Monday a week ago. But Lizzie, you mentioned the favourite Vegas Strip being quite a precocious 2-year-old type. What is particularly look for a horse like that in the parade ring?
Oh, well, she just looked like probably a smaller, more agile, racier type than a couple of these looked more of a staying or middle distance type. I really liked the look of Miss Wilson, but I felt that she was more of a staying or a middle distance type of filly, and I just went with the one that I thought was a bit more racy.
264 Vegas Strip, Catazina, well now $2.50, so a firm favourite here for the 10 Vegas Strip. Queen of Heights hasn't really eased that much, $3.40 to $3.80 as the market percentage gets down to 120. We're hearing that Jack Hill, just a little bit of news coming through, will not be riding tonight. I'm just trying to find what rides he did have at this stage. But he has been race 5 fledged and race 9. Fledged in race 9. So that's it. Is out for him. So we'll get his updates as they come through a little later. But here in the first, Queen of Heights now getting out to $4. Vega Strip Ferns even further into $2.25. As we say, a good evening to our caller tonight, Adam Olszewski.
Close up with the TV. And BZ, Warren, thank you. Yes, getting ready here as these runners move in. So getting set. Vega Strip should be on pace as it normally is. Looks well placed after a couple of outings on soft ground. Queen of Heights hit the line strongly at the end of a Rosehill trial recently. Hasn't been strong form out of that trial, but best part was the last 100 metres. Another horse that's been attacking the line well, Matron Wilson. Got a long way back from a wide gate first up at Bendigo, but very good late for a midfield performance there. Miss Vigilante contested a trial recently at Cranbourne on similar conditions to what she faces now. And she also trialled well after just being a little bit slow. She got through along the fence and finished by memory in third. So here is Queen of Heights about to come up. And then we'll be set to go. Fillies, 2-year-olds for the Cranbourne Racing Industry Awards night on Saturday the 13th of August. Vega Strip Red Jacket the favourite, 225 here on track. In from 270. First of 9, wrapping up the night season here in Victoria. And they're away. Now, Queen of Heights seemed to preempt the start. Didn't really help it, though. It settles midfield, and Vega Strip was fast to begin and comes right across the field, now by 2 lengths on Argyle Bell. And then Queen of Heights, who gets going up on the outside to second. Matron Wilson, Catazina, wasn't the best to begin, but pokes up the fence third last from Miss Vigilante. And back last of all is Love in the City in between horses. But it's Vegas Strip for Jake Noonan heading off the back. 3/4 Queen of Heights and 2.5 Argyle Bell. Matron Wilson together. 1.5 Catazina hemmed up with Love in the City. And Miss Vigilante out deeper on the track. Now starting to make a move. But still Vegas Strip comes down the side. A narrow leader in front by a head on Queen of Heights, who's poised. 2 away to Matron Wilson taken off the bridle. And Argyle Bell starting to struggle. Love in the City. Miss Vigilante. Catazina's back last. It's Vegas Strip around the bend. Queen of Heights won't go away though. And then comes Matron Wilson to the outside of the track, a further 2 away. Vegas Strip tries to kick. Queen of Heights battling in second, and Vegas Strip open up 2.5 lengths now. Noonan wields the whip, and it's Vegas Strip. She's going to do it tonight, and she's going to do it in style. It'll make for a good photo on the wall. Wins by 4 lengths. Vegas Strip beat Queen of Heights maybe just second in a 3-way photo finish for the minor spots with Matron Wilson and Argyle Bell. And they broke away from the others. Love in the City, Catazina and Miss Vigilante.
First favourite home, Vegas Strip, $2.30 on the tote, heavily back, 270 into 220. Warren Huntley's best of the night. Lizzie Jelfs had it on top and was very painless to watch. Queen of Heights, not a bad job to run second on debut. We've got a photo for third between a number of these horses, but the winner here, Vegas Strip, was much too strong. As you anticipated, Warren, pretty good performance.
Yeah, didn't know whether she'd necessarily lead, but thought she'd be in a forward spot. And probably surprisingly, Queen of Heights was able to get into a spot outside the leader from what we've seen of her recent trials in Sydney, but just didn't have the sharpness of Vegas Strip when Jake Noonan released the brakes at the top of the straight. She was able to sprint right away. A dominant victory, numbers 10, 8, 4 and 1, and good support on course into $2.20, I think will be your SP, with $2.30 the tote dividend for Vegas Strip. Jake Noonan just able to get her into a forward spot. She'd been solid to the line in her 2 runs this preparation and really just didn't incur any pressure. We had Queen of Heights sitting off her to the outside and seemed to be travelling well at the turn into the straight, but when the brakes were released, she was just a bit sharper, or much sharper than Queen of Heights, and was able to sprint away. Matron Wilson in the Kelly family colours making some good ground down the outside, and poking up on the inside was number 1 Argyle Bell for the Doug Harrison stable, numbers 10, 8, 4 and 1. dominant victory from Vegas Strip, who'd been building to that with her 2 runs so far this preparation. And I think that's the Blue Bloods thoroughbred colours, and some excited connections here on course for the win of Vegas Strip.
Yeah, I'm here with Steve Randall, who's one of the part owners of Vegas Strip. And how does that feel?
Pretty good, mate. We've had a lot of losers, so it's good to finally get a winner.
So this is your first winner as a racehorse owner?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Take us through the ride. What did you think coming here tonight?
We're pretty bullish. Mick gave us a good word, and we're pretty bullish coming here, and we ended up getting the money.
How does that feel seeing it across the line?
Great, fantastic.
Like, I'm sure he's going to enjoy the night. Well done.
Thank you.
It's good to see plenty of connections coming out here and enjoying their horses, Warren. It's not often you get the opportunity to see them in the flesh, and when you do, it is certainly a good thrill, even better when they're 270 into 220.
Yeah, and syndicators like Blue Blood Thoroughbreds bring so many people into racing and make it affordable to get involved. So that's great for owners to be able to notch up their first winner. It'll be something that team will remember for a long time. And Jake Noonan really didn't give them a moment's worry. We had the Chris Waller trained Queen of Heights probably sitting shotgun outside of Vegas Strip, but Vegas Strip always seemed to be travelling quite well, as did Queen of Heights, it must be said, to the turn into the straight. But Vegas Strip, probably a little bit better suited to these shorter courses, was able to really kick away, and they could probably just share the excitement up the home straight, because there was nothing making sufficient ground to threaten Vegas Strip. So it was pretty evident early in the home straight that the connections were going to be able to celebrate that victory as Jake Noonan comes back, and no doubt he'll tell them a good story about it wasn't as easy as it looked. There was quite a bit of skill from the jockey involved in being able to get her into that position and able to conserve her for that sprint. It did look a pretty easy ride all the same.
Yeah, she's a little racy 2-year-old, and she's been able to get the job done tonight. So Jake Noonan starts the evening in the best possible fashion, and the majority of punters are pretty happy with the victory of Vegas Strip, who breaks through at start number 4 for Connections. Had the experience of racing here not too long ago, and was able to run third and can improve on the back of that. But Jake, you're able to jump straight to the front, and after that she made pretty light work of the field.
Yeah, that's right. She's got race fitness on her side and race experience against, other competitors that probably lack that at this stage of their career. So I use that to my advantage, and on a 2-year-old, when you can find the fence, it's a massive advantage for them, and they seem to kick off the corner well, which she did.
What did you think of the track?
Yeah, it's very heavy. They're getting that deep into it that I don't think safety is going to be any issue. But look, I led, so it'd be too hard for me to make the call on. But very heavy. You're going to have to handle it tonight.
Well done.
Cheers.
There is Jake Noonan giving an interesting update on the surface here at Cranbourne. We've still got 8 races to come. Vegas Strip takes out the first, beats Queen of Height and Matron Wilson. We're going to a break here on racing.com.